Yo, what's happening guys, King GBL here, and welcome to a brand new Great League video. Today I'm going to be showcasing a very interesting team of Toxapex, Lickitung and Swampert. Toxapex is a Pokemon that theoretically core breaks a lot of teams. This Pokemon has good performances against Lickitung, Umbreon, Medicham, the grass types in the meta. You can poison jab down. I was hoping to see a lot of Carbings, Superiors. This whole team does pretty well against Carbing. You can maybe look to get off a couple of power whips with Lickitung. It's a fairly close matchup, it's not super dominant for either Pokemon. I think Carbing still wins it because it's so bulky and annoying, but generally speaking this whole team can beat Carbing. Unfortunately guys, I'm sure you've experienced this yourself, we did not see any Superiors for 25 battles, which is pretty unfortunate. I wanted to see if I could get my Toxapex lined up on some of the grass types. I've been seeing a lot of teams with double grass even, and unfortunately I wasn't able to run into any. However, we still had a very good performance with this team, and actually a lot of the teams I was running into were very tricky to deal with. I went 14 out of 25. I definitely could have won 2 or 3 more battles. I misplayed a few battles, but even though I wasn't really RPSing with this team, and I was even getting RPS myself a few times, and I think that's really a key factor in deciding if a team is good or not. How well are you able to overcome counters? This team can do fairly well, because Lickitung on the swap can deal with Medicham if you shield up a Psychic or a Dynamic Punch, or if they're not running Power Punch, which you can see they are in this match. Cannot stand Power Punch Medi. Definitely very frustrating to come across. I'm even seeing Power Punch Medi in the lead these days, which is very weird. The Great League has definitely changed and evolved quite a lot this season. Anyway guys, it's good to be back recording a video. I have been sick for the last 4 or 5 days. I still am a little bit sick, but we're sort of getting through it here. Also with kids and work and stuff like that, my wife started a new job. I've had to do some extra stuff at home with the kids and everything, so been a little bit busy, a little bit sick. Been a rough couple of days, and to be fair, I've been playing while I'm sick and trying out different teams. As you can see here from me queuing up, I'm down to about 2500 elo. I got back up to like 25 something. I was over 2800 a couple of times during the last week, so it's definitely been rough. And speaking of rough, here's a pretty bad lead. By the way guys, we've been killing it on the last couple of videos. We're only about 75 off 3,000 subs on the channel, so if you've not yet subscribed, feel free to do so. Like the video if you like the video, and if you're interested you can become a member on the channel. You do get a couple of benefits, but generally speaking it is more just to support the channel, so thank you everybody who does so. So I'm actually staying in against this Jellicent because my only real answer to it is Lickitung, and as you can see they're on bubble, and we're able to just eat. We're just able to eat these Shadow Balls. Shadow Ball me daddy. Give me one more. Give me one more. Toxapex is a thick boy. And you know what? I have heard a few people talking about Toxapex getting a buff. If this Pokemon ever got buffed, it would be absolutely broken. It is a very good core breaker at the moment, but I think if you give it Surf or Liquidation, it would be a little bit broken. The thing is, Brine is such a bad water move that if they even slightly buff Brine, I think it would be fine. But if this Pokemon ever got Surf, it would just be over. Anyway guys, we've got our Lickitung versus Gligar. Very positive match. Of course it's positive for Swampert. I do find the match between Gligar and Swampert very awkward though, and I learned that a lot during the Sunshine Cup. You don't take them out with one, and you can't really mudshot them down, so it's a bit of an awkward match. So I'm pretty happy to see this here. We actually farm it the whole way down, take switch advantage, back in comes Defense Deoxys, and we should be in an okay position here. Psycho Boost won't do too much damage, but I decided to come in with my Swampert here. The opponent's building up, going for the catch. I'm going to farm this the whole way down, and I think the opponent will probably see the writing on the wall. Good games, well played. That opening match would have been much worse had the opponent been using Hex, which I'm not sure why they weren't, to be completely honest. We do get an amazing lead here. This is the lead we're looking for. The opponent ends up swapping out to Noctowl, which I've been using this last week. I've been trying to make a team around Noctowl. I think Noctowl is still very unique and good, but it's pretty difficult to run and very easy to play against now. I've been using some absolute nonsense, trying to sort of figure out something. What might core break the Great League teams? I've been trying Clefable, I've been trying everything, bro. The Great League at the moment is very unpredictable and very bulky, so trying these sort of fringe Pokemon, even like Frostlass, can be quite tricky, because you just get outbulked in a lot of situations, and that's why I'm running 2 absolute tanks, and generally speaking, just saving shields for Swampert, trying to let it sweep. Back in comes Ninetales. I'm gonna get off his Hydro Cannon, see if they want to shield it, and then most likely come back in with Tox. They let it go knowing that I have a Tox, and farm me the whole way down. In comes Registeel. Registeel is a bit of an issue for this team, but in this sort of situation, we're perfectly fine. We have 2 shields up, right? Brines are going to chip, boom, little chip, and I'm going to come into Licky here. I'm going to try to preserve the Toxapex, of course, for Ninetales, which can farm it down. But this matchup is not that bad for Licky. As you can see, the Focus Blast on about, I want to say, 70%, 65, 70% damage, right? But they're not going to be able to lock on me down, and we're going to start chipping with these. So all I really need to do is just shield up and just start licking and chipping. The Reggie's going to be put in a sort of unfortunate spot where it's going to be forced to shield up Body Slams. Even though they debuff me with Zap Cannon, they're still going to have to shield them up. I'm actually really happy they went for Focus Blast first time around, because it means I was able to get more damage through. Now, unfortunately, our timer's not up. They do charm us the whole way down, and I decide here, this might be a Psyshock, but I need to save the shield for Zap Cannons. It's just a Weather Ball, which is pretty fortunate here, and all I need to do is just commit to the jab down. There's no way that they can get basically two Zap Cannons here, or 2 Focus Blasts, as it were. They do go for Zap Cannon. I guess they're trying to debuff my attack. I don't think they get it that time, but I don't think it was going to make a difference. Good games. We do manage to take out that somewhat tricky team. And Lickitung lead, this is an amazing lead. I don't think I quite realised how good of a lead this was whenever I was first playing it, but this is an amazing lead. These body slams from Lickitung or even power whips just do pitiful damage. I think I was even considering shielding it, right, because I just didn't know. But have a look. The opponent actually must have played this matchup before, because they actually shield up this move. And at this point I'm like, you know what, we're going to preserve Toxapex. We're going to see what's in the back. There's got to be something. I've seen Lickitungs with superiors. Come on, give me the superior. Give it to me, show me it. It's Stinky Binky in the back. So this is really good. We've got a load of answers to this. I think what I decided to do in this matchup is go for a couple of moves. I want to get it quite low, right, because like this thing's a nuisance. Even against Swampert, it can go for Moonblast if you overfarm too much. I decided to shield once, and then basically commit to a farm down with Swampert. Yeah, we're going to farm up, try to get close to their move, far off the move. And then I'm thinking, alright, we're going to come in with Swampert now. The clocks are misaligned. We'll just eat this move here and preserve the Lickitung a little bit, just in case we need it, just in case it's a midi in the back, which of course is fine for our Toxapex anyway, but we do want to try and keep some options here. The Lickitung has some residual energy and that can always go to use. So let's see, it is Medicham, so we go for Hydro Cannon number 1, and I think I make a very smart play here, guys. You're about to see Hydro Cannon gets them down to like 60%, right? Go for the Earthquake second time around. If they're going to commit to the farm down, they probably think, okay, I can live another Hydro. No, you can't. You cannot live an Earthquake. In comes Lickitung. And this Lickitung still has a lot of energy, but this is just game over for them. I think I actually go for a cheeky play, like a very unnecessary cheeky play. We farm up to the power whip and go for the catch. By the way, guys, I was streaming these games in my Discord, so feel free to join our Discord community if you want to sort of check out some streams and hang out with us. But yeah, this is not going to do that much. I think I let this move go. Boom, body slam, like it just doesn't do that much. I think I just have to go for back-to-back sludge waves, even if the opponent lets it go, or even if they shield it, sorry. This is good. As you can see, they've done a lot, like so. Roughly speaking, 2 sludge waves plus poison jab damage will take out that Pokemon. Guys, even a Shadow Toxapex could be quite interesting. We've had the new Shadow event. We found a Stunfisk in the Great League. Now we've swapped over to Swampert lead, and I was expecting the opponent to go for a catch. You don't stay in against Swampert. I'm like, you know what, you're probably going to stay in and go for an Earthquake. They come into Azumarill, and I sort of regret going for this Earthquake, but I think it actually works out fine, because all I have to do here, it was a mistake to throw it in the first place, but all you have to do is build back up and farm down with Toxapex, because the opponent will get to like free Hydro Pumps. So if I do commit to the entire farm down with Toxapex, this will sort of get close. As you'll see by the time we get out of here, they're going to get off another 1 or 2 moves, which would get us fairly low. If they had got off, like, let's say another Hydro Pump here, look at our health, right? We would have been down into, like, probably the red. I think I'm just coping here. I think I shouldn't have ruined the Earthquake, but we kept the energy back anyway, and we're in a pretty good position here. Back in comes Stunfisk, and these Brines, again, they're just such a terrible weak move. Yeah, and they can't even Rock Slide us from this range, so we're in quite a good spot here, I think. I think I might even decide to preserve Toxapex and go into Licky. Yeah, go into Licky here. And I'm happy enough to eat an Earthquake on Licky. We're down a shield, we can't really afford to go down 2. Again, I just like to try and keep options for the backline, because this technically is the answer to Toxapex, but they do have Sableye, which is quite interesting. I'm going to go straight for Power Whips here, because I have a ton of energy in Swampert. I just need to get guaranteed damage or shields here, and 1 Hydro Cannon will basically take it out. The opponent goes for the move. I'm not going to shield a return. That doesn't quite KO. I do get this body slam through. I thought it would actually do less damage. I guess my IVs are not amazing, but I guess it just does that amount of damage anyway. We go straight for the Hydro Cannon. Typically speaking, guys, Swampert wins CMP, but if you've got an attack-weighted Sableye, it will... I go for the catch as well, which is just filth. I'm not sure if this was even necessary. I could have just CMP'd them, but, you know, we're just outplaying ourselves here sometimes with these plays. The opponent goes for the catch on Stunfisk, and I'm not going to throw a move. I still have a shield. I'd rather them throw the move, or get the jab down, and, you know, either way I'm going to win, basically. I still have a shield. We can CMP the opponent, and they do see that the game is over in top left. In that set, we end up going 2 free. I had, I think, a 4-1, a couple of free 2s, and a couple of 2 frees. Overall, it ended up at like 14, so definitely very positive. And like I said, there was a couple of teams where I could have played a little bit better. One in particular that sticks out is I was predicting a Ninetales in the back, but did not save my Pokemon. However, this is an amazing lead. And, you know, we don't even need to take swap. The opponent's staying in here for a minute, which is weird. I do anticipate the swap here, and in comes Lantern. I'm going to YOLO this straight off. Guarantee heavy damage or the shield. The opponent shields it up. I'm going to farm back up and try to catch on Licky. The opponent does throw on Licky on 7 here, I believe. So there should be, of course, another 7 off the next Thunderbolt here. I can get off a Power Whip, which will get the opponent very, very low. And at this point, guys, I'm thinking, like, I don't necessarily need swap. Toxapex can do perfectly fine. You guys are about to see something quite funny whenever Toxapex does line up against the Talonflame. It's going to really speak to how bad Brine is, but yeah, the opponent's going to take us out. I decide here I'm going to go for a Mud Shot down, or a Jab down, and that should put us in a very good position. Swampert head and energy, up a shield. beats pretty much everything, like unless I get hard walled here somehow. Like even in comes Cresselia. I think if I stay in here and play at the 2-1 with this energy advantage, I think I'm probably fine. I decided to go for a catch on the Grass Knot. I think I actually went one too early, the opponent still froze it anyway. It's the move they would have threw anyway. Back in comes Talonflame. They're going to go for a move. I don't have to shield this move here. I do live a Brave Bird, but they go for Flame Charge, probably knowing that I live it, and trying to boost their attack. We'll go for this move right here, and I think this goes through, and you're going to see, like, it doesn't do that much damage, bro. It really doesn't do that much damage. Now at this point I'm thinking, yeah, this is, like, there's no reason not to go for Brave Bird. You're going to get off one more move, and I can farm you the whole way down. I can live Grass Knot super easily, go for Sludge Wave, and that will do a lot of heavy damage. I'm seeing on my graphic it actually says Sludge Bomb, so I do apologize for that. We're going to come in with Swampert, go for the Wombo combo play here. I'm only one off the next Hydro Cannon, so I think I should CMP them on the next move. Yeah, that was a CMP time. And yeah, Cresselia's probably worst nightmare is getting taken out by Swampert, because generally speaking, that's a very dominant matchup. Now, Metacham's a bit of a tricky lead, so we do swap into Lickitung here. We don't want to necessarily take all the counter damage. Metacham just wins, and in comes Reggie. So let's see how we deal with this, right? We're going to go for Power Whip, but I think it does more raw damage here. Actually, let me check that, because I'm not a, you know, a long-term Lickitung user. I do believe it does more raw damage for sure. I think Body Slam is a lot more efficient though. But if you actually, you know, looking up the Sims and the One Shield guys, it's a rank, or it's a rating of 484 against Reggie. So like, it's not even that bad for Lickitung. Let's have a look here. Body Slam does 72 damage, Power Whip does 90. At the time, I wanted to get off the most raw damage possible. Yes, we overfarm with Swampert here, and the opponent comes in with Greninja. I'm going to YOLO off the Earthquake, and if the opponent lets us go, it's going to do heavy damage if he comes straight into Toxapex. They come back into Medi, and I think we're in a good position now. Like, Greninja just got absolutely fried with the Earthquake. So yeah, Metacham's going to come through with the Psychic. Does about 50% to Toxapex roughly. You can very, very comfortably live that move. We go for Brines, because all we need to do is get them into a range where we can jab them down. No need to go for the big Sludge Wave, and I'm going to go straight for this move on CMP. All I have to do here is put them in a position where I can go for back-to-back Hydro Cannons. If the opponent goes for Ice Punch, that'll take, sort of course, 6 counters plus another 6 for the second one to get the shield. It's going to take us 9 in total, so we definitely heavily outpace here. I'm expecting them to go for the catch. We go for the huge overfarm. We take them out just before they get to the move. All we have to do is go for back-to-back Hydros, and that's going to be a good game well played. So, very tricky lead. We do manage to overcome it. I think just YOLOing off that Earthquake on the Greninja, super, super satisfying, and I think the opponent was maybe expecting just an insta-throw on the Hydro Cannon. Pelipper lead is very, very awkward for this team. We do have two good answers to it. The opponent's actually staying in here to chip, which I find quite interesting. I'm quite happy with this. We'll see what they do come into. They come into Medi. That just goes to show you how scared Medis are of Lickitung. Is this a Power Punch? Why are you staying into chip? They really are just shitting their pants here with that Weather Ball. So yeah, they're pretty dry in the Pelipper. They're 4 off the next move, and we're going to go for multiple Body Slams. Unfortunately, with Power Punch, we most likely won't get off the third move. But look how low we're getting them. The opponent does rightfully go for the counter down, and this is very, very awkward here at this point. I'm thinking, like, do I go for the Mud Shot down? It's a little bit risky. I think I do decide, what do I decide to do with this? I decide to shield up the Psychic, which I think would do more damage than the Hurricane for sure. In comes Lickitung, and on this team, guys, Swampert has nowhere to go. So I decide I'm going to go straight for the Sludge Wave. I don't think the opponent is necessarily going to shield it. Yeah, that gets him down to close to 50%. And I decide to completely sacrifice my Swampert. My win condition's definitely with Toxapex, with Poison Jabs. Yeah, I'm happy to actually catch that move. And funny enough, it doesn't completely one-shot. Now the opponent's going to go for another move. And I'm happy enough to let these Body Slams go, because of course a Hurricane's going to do way more damage. Boom. Body Slam does so little. I'm going to go straight for a Brine here, which I'm thinking will, yeah, take them out from this range. The opponent shields it up. So I'm like, bro, why are you not coming into Pelipper? This would be so much more easy for you. They shield up the second move to get off another move, which is just insanity to me. Because that's going to allow us to basically get a bunch of jabs through. And what I need to do is basically try to outpace the Pelipper. Now, in hindsight, I think I should have let that Power Whip go. Because, well, I guess that would have put us into Weather Ball range. But this doesn't quite KO. And as you're seeing here, guys, they just about do get to the Hurricane. So, super unfortunate. I think I played it about as well as I possibly could have. Or in reality, the opponent played it about as badly as it could have. Made it very, very close, but good games nonetheless. Swampert into Steelix, very good lead. I make a risky play here by going for a CMP. I like to throw these off in 5, which is basically 10 turns into 12. So it's 10 turns for the 5 mud shots, 1 turn to throw. So in theory, you're only giving away 1 free turn, which is not that bad, I think, just to get off your move before the breaking swipe, because you basically guarantee a shield. We throw after 4 here for good timing this time. And we're going to look to probably dip out of here and try to preserve Swampert. I'm thinking it might be the stupid team of Medicham and Bastiodon in the back, and I want to try and make sure I've got a Swampert for the Bastiodon if possible. That's my only real answer to Basti. Toxapex can put in some damage, Lickitung can put in some damage, but not a particularly good matchup. The opponent's just debuffing the shit out of us here. I'm going to go for multiple body slams on Golisopod, and the timers are pretty misaligned here, so I think what I want to do here is try to preserve Lickitung. I think Lickitung might have some play in the back. We're going to chip this, and like, even though these are debuffed, they're still absolutely chunking the Golisopod. This Pokemon cannot take the damage. They go for an Exeter this time around, we go straight into Toxapex, resisting all of the moves they can throw, and we can basically look to jab them the entire way down and come out with a Brine. If you remember, the Steelix is very, very low, so we can look to basically one-shot the Steelix and see what's in the back. I don't have to shield any move here, we just jab it the whole way down if the opponent lets us. They come back into Steelix, we go straight for the move, not allowing them to get off any debuffs or any messing around. Boom, that takes them straight out. And in comes Gligar. So this should be a pretty decent position for us now. We can get off these Brines. And again, Brine is such a bad move, it doesn't threaten anything. It hits like a body slam or something, like it doesn't do anything. I'm thinking, okay, dig me daddy, dig me. The opponent goes for Aurelius, that's not going to cut it folks, that's not going to cut it. They're forced to throw another move. And all I basically need to do is get up to back-to-back moves with Swampert. That should be enough to take it out. I come in with Licky to try and force the final shield. And at that point, we'll be able to like either Mudshot it or lick it down. We come in with Swampert. I'm going to go straight for the move, because even if they do catch, we can get rid of the Golisopod. And I think we still get to another Hydro Cannon, so I think we're perfectly fine here. Sometimes it's a lose call not to throw your moves straight away. I've found that like you overfarm, like, okay, when's the catch, when's the catch? And the opponent's not really tracking your energy, you're giving them too much credit. I think I definitely have a habit of giving opponents too much credit at times, thinking, okay, they know my energy the same way I know theirs. But sometimes like I just don't count, and I'm sure most people are like that as well. Especially around like the veteran elo at this current point in the season. Although most people are quite decent at this elo, not to say anything bad about them. We go for a catch, the opponent does not fall for it, and they come straight into Medicham. I'm predicting this will probably be either Dynamic Punch or Power Punch, because it usually is if it's in the back. I'm going to probably throw up a shield anyway, because they haven't went straight for the pop. They YOLO off the Psychic, and that puts us in a good position, guys. If you're able to shield up a Psychic correctly, you can actually win this in the one shield with Licky very, very comfortably. The opponent will have to make a choice here. They do decide to shield it, and I'm like, you know what, bro? Nah. I'm not letting you get switch advantage, bro. I'm licking you the whole way down. I'll go down a shield, but that means that we can basically put our Toxapex in this Licky. And you're about to see later in this match, I think the opponent does go for a Power Whip. Can we actually get to this move just in time? The opponent did get a Psychic debuff, so I thought they would lick me down a little bit faster, but Licky too thicky. Boom. That gets them down to like 40% health, and we just come in with Toxapex and absorb all this energy. In comes Gligar, and we've got so much energy in Swampert here. Basically all I need to do is get off all these Hydro Cannons, and we should be in a good position to win. The opponent lets it go because they're like, oh, I don't need to shield this. And we should be fine. I think we still have a dig from this range. If I was non-Shadow, this would be a little bit trickier. And this is why I do prefer if it was Shadow, it'd be trickier. This is why I prefer non-Shadow, because you can't one-shot anyway. I was trying to CMP the opponent to get them to throw their energy, but that's perfectly fine. And I want to get myself a little bit lower. I don't quite get off the Hydro on Licky, which is really unfortunate. And we're going to see how much these Power Whips do. The opponent is going to say, oh, Power Whip does absolutely nothing. So good games well played. We can just jab them down and brine them. I think it was at that point I really realized, like, yo, this is such a good matchup for Toxapex. In comes Frostlass. It's an IV dependent CMP. I decided to go for 5, wait a turn and throw, instead of going for CMP, or instead of throwing instantly, because Frostlasses do like to catch and play around a little bit. We do swap out, in comes Nidoqueen, and again, you're going to see how bad Brine is. This is not going to threaten them. And the thing is, we can live in Earth Power, but it's not very comfortable. Yeah, so they go for that move. And I'm thinking, right, we can live this well enough to definitely get off another Brine. So that's what I'm going to go for. And if the opponent shields it, I'll look to Mudshot them the whole way down. Earth Power coming through. We get off the next Brine. And that's going to definitely KO or get the shield. I would love to get this on Licky, but unfortunately the opponent does not allow it. And I think we're going to come in with Swampert and go for a nice Mudshot down. Now, unfortunately, I actually lost a track of energy in this situation. I think this could have been an Earth Power. The opponent swaps out and goes for a combo with Frostlass. At the time I said that's a good play. It debuffed me and basically forced me to make a rough choice and give themselves a shield advantage. They do get off another move, and you're about to see the power of Frostlass here. It gets me down to like almost 50% health with the Powder Snows. And yeah, we'll see what they come in with. And we should be okay here. Like, we still have Swampert. They do have a shield, but their Nidoqueen's quite low. They come in with Pelipper here. So this is again a little bit tricky. I'm going to go straight for the Power Whip for raw damage. I probably should be going for, I guess, a Power Whip and a Body Slam is pretty good. They actually let me get off this move, which is quite nice. And I think I'm going to look to go for a combo play with Swampert. And the opponent is going to go for either a Hurricane or Weather Ball. If they go for Weather Ball, it's not going to KO. We're going to combo with the Hydro Cannon. And the opponent made a huge mistake in that match. Sometimes you just have to throw your big move. They overcomplicated that situation way too much. I'm not sure what they're trying to save the energy for. I think they definitely still win there, but good games well played. And let's hop into the next battle. Defense Deoxys Lead is kind of interesting because the only way they can apply neutral damage to you is by debuffing themselves. So I'm going to build up CMP them on 10. They don't go for CMP, which is quite interesting. I'm going to fire off this next move immediately. And yeah, we'll see what they want to do. This is going to guarantee shield, basically. This should get them into a very, very low range. Yep, we go for Lickitung, and the opponent ends up throwing a move. I wonder what they throw here. They go for Thunderbolt. Doesn't do that much damage. And we end up getting to a body slam. I'm not sure what the opponent's up to here. I'm not sure why I'm even leaving this battle in, to be honest. I think the opponent just kind of got a little bit lost in the sauce in that battle, and good games. Once again, we have Medicham lead. Pretty negative for me. It's not like the worst in the world, but not very good either. They come into a Gradient, and this thing is so spammy, man. This is definitely a very positive match for Gradient. So we're just going to hang in here, try to get off as much damage as possible. And I think probably come in with Swampert afterwards and look to basically like overfarm a little bit and go for a move, which should put me in a position where like I can outpace Medi a little bit. Maybe throw off a Hydro Cannon, swap out to Toxapex, do something like that. We'll see how it goes. These body slams chunk, by the way, from Little Gradient. This Pokemon is one of the most annoying Pokemon to deal with. Just plainly because in neutral matchups, it's so spammy. The opponent's going to get off another Body Slam here. And yeah, like I said, I'm trying to get this energy with that. I should have went for Body Slam here. I was trying to commit to the Power Whip, which would guarantee the KO. So I guess it is kind of good that I'm forcing them to throw. Maybe I should have just threw the Booty Slam. The Booty Slam. Should have threw the Booty Slam and got the shield, but that's perfectly fine here. We're going to go for an Overfarm and CMP on the next Body Slam. I don't expect a shield here, and we're up to pretty much back-to-back Hydros, which is quite good. I'm going to basically farm up a little bit extra, swap out, and this is actually not that bad anymore. Lickitung, like I said, doesn't have the greatest matchup against this. We're ahead in energy with Swampert, and as you're about to see once again, boom, Body Slam does not do that much damage. These Sludge Waves will absolutely chunk, and I think we're in a good position to win this match now. We basically just shield nothing here, and look to basically go for a Brine and farm down, which will put us in a position where I can hopefully put them into Hydro Cannon range, get shields off the Medi with Toxapex if I can. And yeah, basically this game comes down to like getting it into Hydro Cannon range. Yeah, so they let that go. And basically trying to get off 3 Hydros with Swampert. We already have, I think, 2 banged, so this should be perfectly fine. Yeah, I'm still not convinced this is Hydro Cannon range, so what I'm going to do is come in with Swampert and get the shields, and then maybe look to go for a Sludge Wave. I think that's probably the play. Yep, Hydro Cannon number 1, Hydro Cannon number 2. And I think we definitely get off Hydro Cannon number 3, unless the opponent throws a move here very, very soon. We're going to get to it. Oh, we just about don't, unfortunately. But I think we're still in a good position. Unless the opponent baits and makes it awkward, we should get off a Sludge Wave. And as you can see, these jabs are absolutely chunking. Hopefully this is enough to KO, because they are getting fairly close to another move. Yeah, we get the little freeze, which you get on Android, and that's a good game. Guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry if I do sound a little bit sick or a little bit off. I definitely am still trying to recover a little bit, but it feels good to be back on the channel, and thank you guys for all the support in the videos. If you did enjoy, drop a like, subscribe. It is absolutely free. It is absolutely free. And big shout out to everybody for all the support in the videos. Feel free to send me in some battles next week for Halloween Cup. And as well, Great League. We're going to have Great League back, and of course Clodsire next time Great League's around, which should be quite interesting. And of course, guys, feel free to join our Discord community if you want to check out streams and just sort of get to know the community on this channel. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you all next time.